Hey y'all, it's Elisha and welcome back to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop. And to my new folks, welcome. Welcome, we hope you feel very comfortable here. To my returning folks, I am so sorry I'm on so late. It is 10 p.m. when I'm filming this, and this is now my second attempt to film. I've had a few interruptions. It's been that kind of day, y'all. It's been that kind of day. To answer Laura's question, Mrs. Stationery and stuff, yes, I am feeling a bit better today. Thank you. Y'all can tell my eye is still not great, but the rest of me is feeling better. And it's amazing how you notice, and I appreciate it. I actually have a great happy mail from Laura that I'm really excited to share with you this week, but we're going to get to that in a minute. This is a this and that video. And for those of you who are new to the channel, you're going to be like, what the heck is a this and a that? And those returning folks are going to be like, oh, she's got a lot of loose ends to tie up. This is correct. So that's what a this and a that video is. We have some loose ends of information that I need to impart, and I need to make sure that it's clear, so I do a this and a that video. So I can lump them all together before we do the ATCs. So our first thing is we need to do a wedding card challenge update. Miss Tiffany Fox, otherwise known as the Domestic Fox, rightly noticed I was being a little evasive. Where are we sending Marcie's card? That was on purpose, y'all. I wanted to give Marcie some time to make a decision. Did she want them all to go directly to her or via here in New York? And in the end, Marcie decided that she wanted to receive them directly. And in fact, y'all, her fiance is so touched and he's so excited, just like she is. Oh, I'm thrilled for her. A man willing to look at craft cards? Oh, yeah, he wins my seal of approval. There's no way my husband would do that. So I'm thrilled. So I've already updated that video and put Marcie's address, but I've also put it down below in the comment section to make your life easier. So please send your wedding cards off to Marcie and her fiance, soon to be husband. And they're both so thrilled. They're thrilled, y'all. So I know I've already had a sneak peek at a couple of cards and they're gorgeous. So I cannot wait. I know some of my friends craft so fast. They just craft so fast, it blows me away. It just blows me away. And also, Miss Noko, you craft fast too. You can get a card out. You know what? I'm starting to realize, I think I watched a Stampin' Up! Demonstration the other day in an effort to increase my speed at making cards. And I think I just spend too long puttering or something. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm going to keep watching those videos. They're helpful. They're helpful. So that was the update on the wedding card challenge. You're going to send your entry directly to Marcie and her soon-to-be husband, and they're very, very thankful, and they're really just moved that you want to celebrate this. So thank y'all. Next is our ATC mailing disaster. Well, folks, hindsight's always 20/20. If I knew that it was going to take 5 weeks for your stuff to get here and that some of them wouldn't make it here, I wouldn't have hosted a challenge during this time. But hindsight's always 20/20. That's why we have that cliched expression. You never know it at the time. And I'm so sorry for y'all because I'm frustrated. We're missing at least 3 now or 4. And that makes me so sad. And I know when you think about this, I had a friend say to me today, well, out of 100, that's not too bad. But, it's heartbreaking. I know how much effort I put into my ATCs. So, oh, folks, it's so upsetting for me. And I do apologize. I know the mail's not my fault. I know I have no control over how long things take to get here. I'm aware of that. But this is my channel and this is my challenge. And honestly, if I had known this was going to happen, I wouldn't have done a mail-in challenge. So thank you for being understanding. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for not taking my neck off. I really do appreciate it. Here's what my plan is. Because I know we're missing at least 3, if not 4, I'm going to ask that we extend the challenge by another 3 weeks. That'll take us, I think we actually should extend it almost to the end of June. I know it means you have to wait for your prize, and I so apologize. But can you imagine putting all that work in and then it coming afterwards? It will be so heartbreaking that they won't be included in a video. I mean, I would do a separate video, but it won't feel like they were honored in the right way. So with your permission, I want to extend it just to make sure if the mail's coming 4 weeks after from the same country, imagine my international folks. It's really just unfair to them. So I hope you can live with that decision. If you really have a problem with it, email me. Okay? And maybe we'll work out something. I just feel like I have to leave this space for other people to get their entries in. It just doesn't seem right. And we have to hope that they get here. I have a feeling a couple are missing. So, actually missing. And that upsets me. And yes, again, out of 100, not so bad. But that how would you feel if it was yours? I know I'd be heartbroken. I'd be heartbroken over any ATC lost. So, yeah, that's the update. Boy, in hindsight, wouldn't do a challenge during, and if we ever have to deal with something like this again, maybe we never recovered from Christmas and then COVID hit, and because really, that's all I have to say. I want to draw your attention to Michelle Bastian. She has a fantastic get to know you questionnaire up. And for those of you who are newer to YouTube, this is a great way for people to get to know you. Now, sometimes these are wonderful because they give us insight into who you are as people and as crafters. But I don't know if Michelle developed this one, but if she did, it's probably one of it's really good for getting to know someone. It's a wonderful questionnaire. So I'm linking it down below, and I'm hoping you all will take it and participate, because I do think that especially those who are newer to YouTube, it's a wonderful way for us to get to know you. I also think it's great for all of my regulars to be taking it. There are questions in there no one has ever asked you, at least not on these normal tags. This tag is actually much more interesting. So again, I'm linking it down below. It is on Michelle Bastian's channel. It's a really interesting one. Really interesting. All right, so we covered that off. The next thing is, I know that many of my regular folks on here noticed that Elvia, K&E Crafty Shop, has not been here recently. And I haven't said anything right away because I wanted to give Elvia some space. But Elvia lost her best friend's son this week, y'all, in a motor vehicle accident. And she's heartbroken. She's heartbroken. If you have a best friend with kids, they become like, at the very least, your nieces and nephews. But often they become like your adopted kids. And Elvia was very close with this family. And she's hurting. And those of you who've been here for a while know that Elvia's had a really hard year. She's had a really hard year. And throughout all of it, she was joyful. Throughout all of it, oh my goodness, how many of us did she surprise with candy? Oh, we call her the Tooth Fairy, y'all. We do. Those of you who are newer to the channel, we call Elvia the Tooth Fairy. And that's just because, I don't even know how that got started, but that's our nickname for her. Because suddenly your favorite candy will show up on your door. And we always know it's Elvia. It's one of the most thoughtful things she does to uplift people in our community. Well, she's going through a really hard year. And after going through her father's emergency surgery and having to spend Christmas without her husband so she could help her mom and her dad, and then her dad surviving the surgery and everything else that has happened this year, it's been one heck of a year for her. And again, always supporting all of us, always, delivering treats to everybody, trying to sprinkle as much joy as she can. What happens? She loses this child. So those of you who make cards, I would really appreciate it if you could make some kind of uplifting card for Elvia. A fairy card, a rainbow card, a summer card, a butterfly card. She loves fairies. She really loves fairies. That's a clue. So anything like that would just really cheer her up. And if you're interested in doing that, contact me via email and I will give you her mailing address so that you can surprise her with, a card, anything that would help lift her spirits. I'm also going to draw your attention to Jimmy Lani, who in her very touching video today was very clear about the fact that she is experiencing the kind of stress most New Yorkers here are experiencing. Again, you come on here on my channel and you see me buoyantly. I would say that Sunshine Honeybees is a force also. So sometimes it might be hard to understand that anyone living in a red zone, is under still quite a bit of strain. And Lani today was very honest about the toll it's been taking on her. And what's saving her and her sanity is crafting. And I'm glad about that. And I know that Donna, when she sees that book, is also going to be glad that her gift and Soleil's gift gave Lani what she needed in order to get through this. But she is suffering, y'all. She is. And so, again, I'm going to ask you to keep her in your well wishes and in your thoughts because she needs it. We all need a little help, y'all. There's a reason I didn't let my family come. Remember? There's a reason I chose to go this alone. And Lani is here with her family. And, I'm going to tell you, my day, I told you, was a little chaotic today. Not in a bad way. It just was. I spent most of the day with my husband on the phone because tomorrow's the big day, y'all. And so, nerves. He's never had surgery or had anything go wrong. And then right after that, I took the kids for the first time in 60 days outside. And I'm going to tell you, was I ever grateful that the only video I watched today was Kimberly Cochran's. She did this great video about people not social distancing. Well, between talking to my husband and the kids knocking on the door, I had just started watching that video and eating a snack. And then the kids came. But I'd caught enough of it to see them turn their car around and say, no way. Well, thank goodness I watched that. Because here I am trusted with the kids in my building, a 14 and a 16-year-old. I'm trusted to get them out safely for the first time. And there's a big event happening by the water, and they promised it's a safe distancing event. So I go down there with the kids. Well, thank goodness I'd watched Kimberly's video, because I don't think we were there but a second before I turned us back around, and back we went into our own section of the neighborhood that is not like that. And the kids were shocked, y'all. Yes, they had drawn circles in chalk in the grass. Yeah, Lani and Sunshine Honeybees are going to crack up when I tell you this. They drew chalk circles to keep you 6 feet apart from the other circle. But then in those circles were groups of people, elbow to elbow, no masks. Now, you got to remember the kids haven't been out in 60 days. The 16-year-old looks at me and says, did they not watch the news? I did not know. I mean, really, if it had not been so serious, I would have laughed, because his timing was perfect. His comedic timing was perfect. But this was funny, like in a sad, ironic way, y'all. How could I explain to a 16-year-old that out of these thousands of people down by the waterfront, that a huge portion of them were not being responsible and couldn't care less? The whole way back to our section of the neighborhood, the kids grilled me. They wanted to know how an adult was allowed to walk around without a mask or gloves. Before we left this apartment building, they had a mask on, gloves, and hand sanitizer in our pockets. And I gave them strict instructions that they weren't to touch their face. I made sure that they knew the rules. I don't have to worry about those kids. I have to worry about everybody else out there. That's why Lani's stressed. And it is stressful. Because if we're going to reopen, is this what we're going to be dealing with? I don't know how to tell the kids that these people don't care enough about themselves, their families, or any of us. And right outside of there were people protesting. And they had on gas masks, and they were holding a sign, and it said 29,000 New Yorkers died. Please put on a mask. And they ignored these people. And my kids from the building looked at these protesters, looked at what was going on, and was like, I don't understand. Well, I don't understand either. But Kimberly, thank God you posted that video today. Because I tell you, something instinctual, and I did the exact same thing. I'm like, we're getting out of here. And you know what's interesting? I thought the kids were going to give me a hard time. Their first time in 60 days out. And here we are going to this thing. And I tell them, no, we're not going to that thing. We're just going to go for a walk. You know what? The kids didn't give me a hard time. Because they were scared. They saw that. And what I found out on the way, we walked back to my neighborhood, and then we walked around my direct neighborhood where people were social distancing and all but one were wearing a mask, thank goodness. It scared them. Now they're like, no wonder we're not allowed out. No wonder. This is terrible. I don't know what that says about humanity or about what's going on in here in New York, but that probably gives you insight into why Lani was so stressed and some of what she was talking about in her video. It's terrifying. If you're in a red zone and all these people are walking around like nothing's happened, you're so scared for what's about to happen here. I will tell you that the other reason I'm on late tonight is that after I took the kids out and the grandmas made me a beautiful dinner. Oh, yes, they did. It was delicious. I don't know what it's called, but it was delicious. I had supper and I called my mom. Why did I have to call my mom? Because Toronto has reopened, and Toronto, Canada, where my mom and my bestie live, and their numbers are radically spiking. And my mom lives in a seniors building, and we are terrified that we have to evacuate her. And I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm in a terrible predicament. Is it safer to risk her to an airline, like a flight? Is it safer to take the risk of exposing her at the airport and on an airplane to get her to one of my siblings who lives they happen to live in a part of Canada where there's one case. So it's much safer. One case, and it's controlled, and it's not critical. Is it safer to take that risk to save her? Because I think leaving her there is going to cause a problem. I don't know what to do, y'all. It's like a terrible predicament. I could be exposing her to the virus by putting an 85-year-old on an airplane. Because I don't think my sister will come get her. There's always something. Huh? There's always something. Anyway, that's why I'm on so late, and I apologize. Between my husband, the kids, and then my mom, this is my first time to come on here tonight at 10 o'clock at night. And in fact, I'm going to brew a pot of coffee before I do the ATCs, just so I can manage everything. I'm going to be doing a Happy Meal pre-record for tomorrow that will come up at some point in the day, so you do have something to watch. But again, I won't be on here. I want to make sure I stress that so that you're not worried or disappointed. And I will be back on tonight with some ATCs. Don't forget, there's lots of great open challenges. I want to remind you, Green Tea Design Company has a challenge open. Lorraine Barton has a challenge open. Linda's Thrifty Life has a challenge open. My swap partner, E. Johnson Woodson, she has a challenge open too. So don't forget to support our challenges. There's many more than that. I just listed those off the top of my head. It's another great way to get out there and become part of the community. All right, y'all, that is it for this girl for the next few minutes. I'm going to go brew some coffee, and then I will be on with our next run of ATCs. See you real soon.